Five Nights at Freddy's gets clever with its simple presentation. It turned my sense of awareness against me, relying on my mind tricking itself to override logic. Those brilliant moments during my 5 hours playing it typically came after I fought down the urge to curl into a whimpering ball of tears and sweat. It's a first-person horror game, but the boogeyman jumping out of the closet isn't its payoff. It's the creeping buildup of dread watching that doorknob slowly turn. The only objective is to survive 5 nights and a bonus 6th night from midnight until 6 a.m. chimes on the clock, a round length of about 8 to 9 minutes. 4 robo-mascots, Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, Foxy the Pirate Fox, and the titular Freddy Fazbear, meander a beeline to the security office. The only means of defense are 2 metal doors, a pair of flickering hallway lights, and a camera monitor screen that stretches across your entire view when pulled up. All you can do is swivel the watchman's head, operate the doors and lights, or flip through camera emplacements. All those onlys make it sound shallow, but believe me, they're components of a frightfully effective nightmare machine. Keeping the bots at bay drains power from a battery, and conserving enough juice to last the night it's FNaF's challenge. It's impossible to keep the battery topped off, idling away the hours and not touching anything, a very foolish thing to do. Still ticks down, power from an overhead light and a nearby spinning fan, obviously too far away for me to reach over and turn off while I'm scared out of my mind. The walking suits won't enter the office right away if they get close, which is enough time to shut a door and block their entry, but you can't just turtle by keeping both doors closed indefinitely, as switching on lights and locking doors puts extra strain on the battery and drains it faster. It's so easy to make mistakes in judging the amount of battery life left to use. I caused a couple of white-knuckle moments early on after zealous use of the doors, depleted the battery right at 5 a.m. I didn't meet an immediate game over, but the room plunged into darkness, the fan sputtering to a stop. Absolute silence until I heard a music box version of Les Toreadors tinkle away with Freddy's toothy grin lighting up in one of the doorways like a twisted Cheshire. A few seconds later and the tune abruptly cut off into silence again. I waited for my grisly end with quiet dignity and a brain screaming against my skull to, "Oh no, help me, help me, help me." The wait wasn't the excruciating part. Knowing I was helpless against a murderous electronic bear standing a scant few feet away from me kicked in some serious fight or flight queasiness in the stomach. Just when I was sure of being eaten alive, the clock struck the hour and I could hear a bunch of kids cheering my success. One night down. Loud exhale. Change pants. That's a clear example of how FNaF masterfully leverages the knife-point balance between rational decision-making and panicky flailing. It feels unfair from the start. Enemies are mobile while I stay put, no weapons and crappy visibility. But that's all it is, a feeling. The tools provided handily, net victory with smart use, slip up somehow and you'll be punished. Where FNaF separates itself from its jump scare heavy ilk is a near overwhelming fear of the threat of a jump scare. That doesn't mean the bulbous antagonists aren't scary in their own right. Their lifeless gazes at a camera or through a doorway pack serious, uncanny valley vibes, and they excel at toying with my sanity with their incessant smiles and raspy moans. Figuring out the travel and behavior pattern of each character is critical for making it through multiple nights, but that sense of security only goes so far when victory relies on temperance rather than luck. The weight of paranoia grows heavier as each hour slides by. It's like peering into a pitch-black stairway, descending into a basement, and feeling that prickle on your neck of something watching you just out of your vision. Once all the enemy patterns are figured out, however, FNaF falters. There's not much more to expect beyond managing battery life and careful timing of slamming doors shut, so those with steely willpower won't find anything else past the atmosphere of it all. After the first couple of nights, I stopped checking every camera and focused on areas where most of the monsters tended to pass through at some point, usually the exterior halls leading into the security room. This slightly diminished the pressure of keeping track of everything, and it would have been nice to have every camera carry equal importance instead of checking just 1 or 2 sections. Five Nights at Freddy's takes the less is more approach. The AI isn't some masterwork of procedural unpredictability, but it doesn't need to be. It'll head straight to you and eat your face off. Or it'll play around like an innocent child before closing in for the kill. Your mind will fill in the rest. Okay guys, time to subscribe and see you later on my channel. Thank you.
I won't talk quite as long this time since Freddy and his friends tend to become more active as the week progresses. It might be a good idea to peek at those cameras while I talk, just to make sure everyone's in their proper place, you know. Interestingly enough, Freddy himself doesn't come off stage very often. I've heard he becomes a lot more active in the dark, though. So, hey, I guess that's one more reason not to run out of power, right? I also want to emphasize the importance of using your door lights. There are blind spots in your camera view, and those blind spots happen to be right outside your doors. So if you can't find something or someone on your cameras, be sure to check the door light. You might only have a few seconds to react. Not that you would be in any danger, of course. I'm not implying that. Also, check on the curtain in Pirate Cove from time to time. The character in there seems unique in that he becomes more active if the cameras remain off for long periods of time. I guess he doesn't like being watched. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you have everything under control. Talk to you soon. Hey, listen, I had an idea. If you happen to get caught and want to avoid getting stuffed into a Freddy suit, try playing dead. You know, go limp. Then there's a chance that maybe they'll think that you're an empty costume instead. Then again, if they think you're an empty costume, they might try to stuff a metal skeleton into you. Wonder how that would work. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that. It's best just not to get caught. Okay, I'll leave you to it. See you on the flip side.